Hey guys, Mike McErlane here with WorkoutTrainer.com. I'm sitting once again with Dr. Jim Stoppani, owner of JYM Supplement Science, as well as JimStoppani.com, former senior science editor for Muscle and Fitness Flex and Muscle and Fitness Hers magazine, as well as Yale School of Medicine, Connecticut. I could go on and on about the resume, but you guys can read all about that just by Googling his name. So Jim, thank you again for sitting down with me. Appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here, Mike.
So last time we talked, we were talking about a couple of your products, specifically pre-gym. We were talking about things like proprietary blends.
Of course,
we were talking about your stance on what not only a proprietary blend is, but how to spot it, how to avoid it, why it's important. Then you've come out with some other products here. You got obviously the Alpha Gym, the Shred Gym, the Pro Gym. But one of the things that I've taken note of with all the different products that you've come out with, and you and I talk all the time about this stuff, is that when it comes to a supplement company, you've taken a real different role of how you formulated the products, because whereas most companies will formulate products that if this is their test product, and this is their vitamin, or this is their fat burners you have here, they're not really thinking about their other products as taking them as a part of a system or taking them in conjunction. And I think one of the things that you've told me that you have a lot of discussions with your fans is that people will question, well, Jim, maybe you left out some, a key ingredient that most other post-workouts have, or even a vitamin or something like that. But your stance has been, well, there's a reason why, is because that ingredient is in other products. And so you've kind of created this system. So I was wondering if you could explain that, and explain that not only just how these products work together with one another, explain the JYM system, and then also explain that this is also a part of the programs that you do too. And you pointed this out, that on the back of most of all your bottles, you actually provide links with a little QR code for your program. So I just want to hear it from you in some of the discussions you and I have about why all this. Why does it work so well, and what's going on with it? So
the main ingredients, or the main products I should say, in the JYM Supplement Science line, sort of the flagship product obviously is pre-gym, but the JYM System, which is the pre-gym, the post-gym, and the pro-gym, are meant to be taken around workouts. Now, when I first launched pre-gym, I was still finishing up post-gym. And if you look on the ingredient list, it'll say 2 grams of beta-alanine. Well, people say, well, that's a minimal dose of beta-alanine. The research shows that about 1.6 gram dose of the carnosine type of beta-alanine is the absolute minimal dose to take. Some people hang their hat on a 4-gram dose. So some people were saying, well, pre-gym is really underdosed on beta-alanine. Mm-hmm. Well, that's because post-gym has another 2 grams of beta-alanine. You don't just take pre-gym and then walk away from the gym when you're done. You take pre-gym, you get a dose of beta-alanine before, and then you take post-gym, you get a second dose after. All the research on beta-alanine has shown it's taken in multiple doses. You don't take it in a single dose. If you took 4 grams in one dose, that tingling and itchy sensation you'd get would be unbearable for most people. Mm-hmm. Plus, it's better taken in smaller doses, especially around workouts when you're getting other ingredients like branched-chain amino acids that are going to help to enhance the uptake of beta-alanine. Same thing with the creatine. I'm a firm believer in getting creatine pre and post workout. Those are the 2 best times to get it. So pre-gym has 2 gram dose of creatine hydrochloride. People say, when they just looked at pre-gym all by itself over here, said, well, that's really not an effective dose of creatine. First, they were talking about creatine monohydrate, because with creatine monohydrate, you need a minimal dose of 3 grams. Really, in my book, it's a minimal dose of 5 grams of monohydrate pre, and then another 5 gram post.
But that causes issues.
Causes stomach issues for a lot of people. But with a hydrochloride, it's absorbed significantly better, so you need a far lower dose. So when you take 2 grams of creatine hydrochloride pre, along with 2 grams of creatine hydrochloride in your post-workout, you're getting a 4-gram dose of creatine hydrochloride, which is what you need for, unless you're over 300 pounds of pure muscle, it's never going to be an inadequate dose of, even if it was monohydrate, that would be, close to inadequate, but it's creatine hydrochloride, which is taken up much better. So, the system is designed to work together. And then you have ProGym, which is your protein powder blend that I recommend either taking pre and post-workout along with the pre and with the post, or what I like to do, and this doesn't make the benefits any better, is I take my pre and then I have my post, and then I take one big pre, intra, and post-workout ProGym, sip on it starting at the beginning of the workout all the way through the workout to the end, and then finish with post-gym. So that's the JYM System. Now if you want to look at the vitamin, I've left out key minerals and even vitamins like vitamin D. Well, why did I leave vitamin D out of here? Well, I left calcium out, okay? Calcium is notorious for inhibiting the uptake of ingredients like zinc is the main, one of the ones that has a huge effect on zinc uptake, which is why I've left both calcium and zinc out, and I have ZMA Gym. You get your zinc as well as your magnesium, which is also not in VitaGym, at night, separate, because that's better uptake. You get better uptake of the vitamins and minerals that are in VitaGym this way, and then you take your ZMA. Calcium, it's 400 milligrams of calcium
So you really
per dose
I got you.
in the ProGym. So people say, well, there's no vitamin D. Isn't that a critical vitamin? Yeah, it's a critical vitamin. Why did I leave it out of VitaGym? Well, because vitamin D helps with the uptake and utilization of calcium. So sure, you could take vitamin D with VitaGym, but you're far better off taking your vitamin D
With the protein.
when you take your protein, because it'll enhance utilization of the calcium. And the other thing I do is not only am I making products that all work together here, but I'm creating videos and articles that teach the consumer how to use these. And I break it down by, when do you work out? You work out in the morning? Okay. Here's how you take VitaGym, pre-gym, post-gym, and pro-gym. And if you want to use shred gym, here's how,
That was one of the things I think was really cool whenever you and I talk, is that a lot of the articles that you write, because you and I work together on a lot of different things, and
Of course.
But one of the cool things that Jim does, guys, is all these different articles and things, these help videos that he does, is really based off of the feedback that you're getting from your own consumers. And I think, because one of the biggest questions I remember when you started coming out with all these different products that you were telling me you were getting was, Jim, how do I take all the products? Because I think as a tribute to what you've done, I've been at this a long time. We've been in the industry together for a long time now, and I can say that this is
Too long to admit.
Yeah, but I think that you're the JYM Supplement Science brand, when you've started this and the products that you're doing, to me is remarkable, because you're the only company, I think, in the history that I've known sports nutrition, to where you literally can and are supposed to take every single product that you come out with. I don't think that any brand can say that. If
you're 21 years old, you're not going to be taking the Alpha Gym.
Yeah.
If you're not
but you can
focusing on fat burning, you're probably not going to take Shred Gym, or at least you don't need to. Many people do. People do Shortcut the Size, which is mainly, if you want to call it, a bulking program, but they'll take Shred Gym along with it to help with lean gains and minimize.
But you tell them how to take it too.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is like the fat burner doesn't inhibit muscle gain. In fact, the green tea and the acetyl-L-carnitine actually aid recovery and muscle growth. So it works very well to help with lean gains. But again, like I said, I really focus on the JYM System, the pre, the post, and the protein as well as the multivitamin, because that's critical to get your micronutrient needs to support. If your micronutrient needs aren't met, then you're not gonna expend the energy. You're not gonna have those micronutrients that you need, those cofactors and coenzymes to help maximize your performance as well as muscle growth. But so I wouldn't say, yeah, you're supposed to take everyone, but for, a 40-year-old guy who wants to, increase fat loss while he's building muscle, yeah, he would definitely do well taking all. And the articles that I have show him exactly how to do that. And not only that, but it shows them how to do that based on when they train.
Morning, noon.
Exactly. Whether you're a morning, you work out in the morning, you work out on your lunch break, you work out, after work or after school, or you work out later at night after dinner. That way there's no confusion. I like to break it down so that everyone can see how to use this in the most simplest way, and it makes the most sense. And if they can't figure it out, they get me on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can personally ask me a question, and I will answer your question personally, because I'm not going to hire a social media person to answer these types of technical questions, which is, not going to be the best interest of the consumer, not going to help provide them the best results. So I want to be there to answer those questions, because I don't trust anyone else to do that, because everyone has a very unique situation. So they might have a health issue, they might be taking some type of medication, or they might have some weird issue with the way they train. Maybe they train twice a day. Should they take how should they take it if they're doing twice a day? That's really something only I can answer, versus some hired intern who's just shooting back a canned response. That really doesn't do anything to help educate that consumer and help them get the results that they should be, which is the results that I wanted them to get when I designed these products. So I'm very passionate about making myself available for those questions, and I don't think there's a single supplement kind. I don't like to call JYM Supplement Science a supplement company. I'm just a scientist making you guys quality products. But I don't think there's a single supplement company out there who has the owner, the formulator, the scientist that created it all, that designed it all, answering the questions.
Well, I think you and I have talked about it. I use the analogy, if Apple made Steve Jobs, when he was alive, available to everybody who bought the iPhones and the Apple products, that's essentially what you've made yourself available in a very direct way to your consumers and to the audience, which is one of the things I think sets you apart and will set you apart from anybody else. And it's not just about when you've talked about, Mike, I'm going to create this JYM system. It started in service. It started in the workout programs. It started in the articles and the training and the videos and things you and I have done online together. Yeah. And the cool thing is we've covered this many times before, but the products were formulated based on all those ingredients you were using in your other programs. But the one thing about the system that you said, Mike, these are the products that make up part of the system. The other part are the programs. That's, you can't be on the wrong program to where you're not doing anything, take these products, and it's not a magic pill or powder.
Exactly.
Like, your programs combine, and I think that's the key thing, is this combined, you provide it all. Yourself, the products, the programs. I mean, literally, if you gave somebody a blueprint and said, you're gonna get your goal, you have it out, and somebody actually who will respond and help you.
I mean, it's essentially like having me as your personal trainer,
as close
living
to
with
you can possibly
going,
get. Absolutely.
Here's the training program. You're going to do this many sets, this many times a week. Before you work out, you're going to eat this. You're going to, we have you don't understand. What's the question? Here's your answer. Here's part of the reason why I make myself so accessible is that it's, you know, it's a passion. I want to hear from the people. I personally want to hear how they're liking it, how they're using it. You know, I call the people who use the gym products and follow my programs the gym army, but it's really like a gym family.
Yeah.
You know, I've become very close to numerous individuals on social media. You know, we've created relationships. Other people who follow my programs and use my products have created their own relationships, because we're all in this together trying to get the best results, and we all help one another. And, you know, this is why I got into fitness, was to help people.
Yeah, isn't that? Yeah, it's what it's all about.
You know, I mean, this is why, you know, I don't understand anyone who gets into fitness when their passion isn't helping someone.
Yeah.
You know, helping as many people as, well, that's always been my passion. I'm an educator, you know. My passion has always been educating anyone who will take the time to listen to me. That's really been, you know, my main goal, and it just evolved. You know, there was a shortcoming on the supplement industry. Those products weren't being available. You know, all those ingredients, the creatine hydrochloride, the beta-alanine, the betaine, you know, they weren't in products on the shelves. You know, people had to go and be their own, basically, supplement scientists, buy all these individual ingredients that I recommended and mix them all together before they worked out, after they worked out, in the morning if they were, you know, following one of my fat loss programs. For fat loss, you know, they had to make all these, buy these individual ingredients and then take them all together. And I can tell you, the pre-workout that I would recommend, it tastes like crap. You know, it was, you know,
I was one of those guys who.
So this, you know, this allows me to continue just with that same advice on what to take, but in a far more convenient manner, a far better tasting manner, and it actually saves money.
Yeah.
It absolutely, you know, if everyone knew how little I make on any one of these products, they would be absolutely dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Because these cost so much to make, but I kept the price down so that it's affordable for the majority of the people who want to use these products the way that they should be.
Well, I guess my last question would be, now that you have these products, and obviously I think the industry is been really taken back and you know, really interested in what your secret is, and I think you've always said, Mike, I just do the right thing.
Right.
But I guess my question to you would be, now that you're doing this, I've started hearing rumors and seeing things of other companies trying to follow suit. What would be your advice to the average consumer who's still not fully a part of your gym army, trying to really grasp what you're doing, but who is on the fence, so to speak? And then what could you caution them? Not trying to say take my products and you're fine, but you know, what's the thing that you would say for them to do so that they can try and make the right decisions, whether it's your products, and then what some of these other companies might start doing to follow suit and copy you? What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, definitely. You know, I've done tons of articles and videos on, you know, being aware of proprietary blends, where, you know, they put in the right ingredients, but they don't tell you how much is in there because there's not enough of that ingredient. So, you know, if you're going to buy a product and it doesn't list the exact amount of every single ingredient, whether it's a pre-workout, a post-workout, a fat burner, a test booster, even a protein powder, don't buy it, because you're being lied to. They're only interested in making money, which, you know, the sad part of the supplement industry is that it went, like I said, why is anyone in the fitness and supplement industry if their goal isn't to help people? You know, it all started way back when as a way to help people, to provide them better results, better health, feeling better about themselves. And then suddenly, you know, the supplement industry took off. Dietary supplement industry multi-billion-dollar industry. So all these people started seeing a way to make money. And that's when the problem started with how can they make money, which is just disingenuous to the consumer because the products are based on how they can make the most money, not how it can provide the best results. So you need to be aware. You need to educate yourself. I have, a number of videos that talk about not just my products and why they work, but the ingredients in them, why they work, why at those doses that you need to get them at. So educate yourself. Watch those videos so that you know how much creatine hydrochloride should you have, how many branch chains, and what's the best ratio of branch chains. I have all that information out there. I've always had it out there, long before I had the JYM Supplement Science, because I've been educating the consumer on that. Now I'm just taking that advice and putting it in
using it as a tool to educate.
Exactly, to further educate on what the supplement industry should be doing. And now that everyone is seeing that you can be a successful company by making expensive products that have full doses, they're trying to follow suit. But they're not doing it properly. They'll fake a non-proprietary blend. They'll make an abbreviated formula where they list the ingredients, but my pre-workout, for example, has 13 different ingredients: branch chains, creatine hydrochloride, beta-alanine, betaine, citrulline malate. You'll see a pre-workout that only has 4 ingredients. Sure, they list out the doses, but they're missing.
And one of these abbreviated formulas
because
where you got to buy multiple things.
Yeah, because they can't make enough money on using those ingredients
on that one product.
So they have to only limit the amount of ingredients
and still be
that
competitive.
They use and still be competitive. So, and the other thing is you see all these companies who were always proprietary blends suddenly waving their non-proprietary flag. Oh, look, and now we're non-proprietary. Well,
2.0 or 3.0 products.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
If you couldn't get it right the first time, chances are they're cutting corners on you somewhere.
It's like somebody robbing you twice and coming to your house and saying, "No, we'll lock up," and you say, "Okay,
kind of.
That's good enough for me. We'll take you. We'll take
kind
care
of.
of
I mean, it is. It's a sad truth, and that's really the main reason why I started the JYM line is, like I said, to provide what I've been advising people to take in a simpler, cheaper form, and to use it as an educational tool.
Along with the programs and everything. So you've done it all. Well, I can't thank you enough, for allowing me to work with you on a lot of various things. It's been a pleasure. I know you've got some things planned in the future. You're doing stuff, obviously, coming out with more, I think, is ZMA.
CMA JYM, working on a mass gainer. There'll be a fat burner.
Sorry, a fat burner.
Sorry, not a fat burner. There'll be a fish oil.
Fish oil.
Yeah.
They both start with F, so
And fish oil is helpful for fat burning.
But listen, I appreciate it, and so I guess the last bit of thing is just pre-post the protein, the JYM System, along with your programs, and follow him on Facebook and Twitter, guys. So Jim, thanks again, as always.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
You guys can find everything about Jim Stoppani on jimstoppani.com, as well as his website for his products, JYM Supplement Science.com. And make sure to follow Jim on Twitter or Facebook, guys. He does answer everyone, and he has thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. But I gotta give him credit. He spends about 6 to 7 hours a day making sure he gets back to as many people as he possibly can. So he's the real deal, guys. Jim Stoppani. Thanks again, man.
Thanks, Mike.